All right, 6.6 is about finding rational roots. Let's get to it. So far, right now, where you should be at this moment is that if I told you that f of x is equal to x to the third minus 4x squared minus 11x plus 30. This is some function. But if I told you that f of 5 equals 0, that should tell you, hopefully, that at this point you know that you would take x minus 5, or x minus k, where k is 5 in this case. X minus 5 is a factor of this polynomial here. All right. Today, where we're at, well, here's the thing. And then if you were to synthetically divide, you would have a remainder of 0, thus proving that x minus 5 is a factor. However, today where we're at is I'm not going to give you a starting point. That f minus 5, or f of 5, that was a starting point. Now let's take a time out. Let me show you how we used to teach this. We used to tell you that you had to take the constant and find the factors, all the factors of the constant. So in this case, the factors of 30 are 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 10, 15, and 30. And then you'd have to find the factors of the leading coefficient. In this case, it's easy. It's 1, which is just 1. And then it was the ratio of all the factors of these things, the ratio of each one of these to the factors of the leading coefficient. So in this case, it would be plus or minus 1 to 1, plus or minus 2, plus or minus 3, plus or minus 5, plus or minus 6, plus or minus 10. And you would have to guess and check all of these by synthetically dividing. Let's do an example. Suppose, and don't write this down yet, suppose I wanted to check if -1 was a solution, so, or a factor rather. 1, -4, -11, 30, and I would check -1, and I'd get 1, because that would come down, -1, -5, 5, -6, 6, and 36. Now, since the remainder is not 0, is -1 a factor, or x plus 1 a factor? No. So then I would have to I'd have to start start again and go with, I don't know, maybe try +1. And I get 1, 1, -3, -3, -14, -14, and get 16. Again, it's not. So you would have to guess each one of these as we would go. And that was great for my grandfather. However, we have these magical devices called calculators. So bust out your calculator and put x to the third minus 4x squared minus 11x plus 30. I'll wait for you. Great. And then let's go ahead and graph this. Now, there's some wonky graph there. Now, hopefully you all know what a cubic looks like. But here's our graph, and we're looking at the zeros. The zeros are the x-intercepts. And we can look by our graph that we have one of our zeros might be -1, -2, -3 right here, right? So I'm going to guess that one of my factors is when x is equal to -3, or excuse me, k is -3. So we're going to synthetically divide by using -3. Put that down for a minute. So synthetically divide really quick. 1, -3, -7, 21, +10, -30, remainder of 0. So just as we suspected, -3 is a factor. That means that x plus 3 is a factor of this polynomial here. Now the remainder would be x squared. This was cubed, so x squared minus 7x plus 10. But here's the thing. Let's go back to our graph. well, before we go to the graph, yeah, let's do that real quick. So we could put x squared minus 7x plus 10. But I'm going to ask you to factor this completely. Right? So you would factor what multiplies to 10 adds up to negative 7. And you would get x plus 3 times, what is this factor to? Is factor to x minus 5 and x minus 2. That would be the factored form of f of x. But I'm going to show you a different way. Check this out. Instead of having to go through this and try and factor it, look at this graph. One of the other zeros that we can see is positive 2. So check this out. I'm going to go again. I'm going to synthetically divide again, only I'm going to use the number 2. Using x squared minus 7x plus 10. All right, the coefficients are set up for me, and I can synthetically divide again. Watch this. 1, multiply, add, and once again, I have a remainder of 0 again. Right, now check this out. That means that x plus 3 is my first 0. X minus 2 is my second one, and look what's left. This was x to the third. That makes this x squared. That makes this one x, or x minus 5. It can simplify for us by, we can just, or factor this for us by using synthetic division multiple times. Let's try another one. Oh, well, yeah, let's try another one. How about g of x is x to the third minus 7x squared plus 10x plus 6. All right, so the first thing, let's go to our calculator and graph this, because I'm not giving you a starting point. We have to find our own starting point. I know I do this so slow. Press graph. All right. So this graph might be a little bit tougher to read. Let's look at that one. Is that a negative 1? I'm not sure. Let's try it. Synthetic division is so easy. It's easy just to guess and see if it comes out. Let's try negative 1. 1, negative 1, negative 8, 8, 18, negative 18, negative 12. So here's the thing. It looks like it's negative 1, but it's not quite negative 1. Negative 1 is not going to be one of our factors, or x plus 1 is not going to be a factor. So while it looks like it might be some other weird type of number. Let's try and find that one later. Let's go on to, that looks like 1, 2, 3. Let's try 3. So 1, 3, negative 4, negative 12, negative 2, negative 6, where we have a remainder of 0. All right, so right now we know that one of our factors is x minus 3. Let's look at the remainder of what's up next here. Well, tell you what, let's look at our graph. There's 3, 4. It looks like it's between 4 and 5. So here's the thing. This case, if you wanted to try another one and try and go further, go ahead and give it a shot. But in this case, I'm going to leave it as x squared minus 4x minus 2. And I'm going to look, can I factor this old school way? What multiplies to negative 2 but adds up to 4? Nothing. So that's what's up. Our answer is f of x. The factored form of f of x here is x minus 3 times this stuff. So, what if I ask for the zeros? What are the zeros here? Well, the zeros of this one, that one is easy. It's 3, right? X minus 3 is equal to 0. But remember, the graph, we had these two wonky ones that didn't come out very nice. And that stems from this mess right here. This doesn't factor, so we still got to solve this, but we can't solve this by factoring. So you got two ways: quadratic formula, or solve by completing the square. Hi, Alec. So we're going to try by, in this case, we've done a lot of quadratic formula. I'm going to solve this one by completing the square. So step 1, get rid of the constant is equal to 2. Then we got the leading coefficient is 1, so that's good. So find half of b and square it. So we're going to add 4 to both sides. Then this factors to x minus 2 quantity squared equals 6. Square root both sides. So now you got x minus 2 equals plus or minus root 6. Add 2. And we get x is equal to 2 plus or minus root 6. It's gross. But those are our 3 solutions. Remember, the original was an x cubed, so these are our 3 solutions. Bring your questions tomorrow. Smith out!